All right, guys, the ultimate battle. We got the EOS R8 versus the ZV-E1 full frame camera shootout. Now, EOS R8, great for the value, 1,500 bucks. I got the 2.8 16 millimeter lens on here. I only got regular active stab on each one. I'm not going to stay on this one long. I'm going to go on to the enhanced because that's where I'm going to get the best stabilization. But right out of the gate, these are both on auto mode. I got the 18 millimeter to kind of be equivalent, 2.8 on the Sony ZV-E1. And people are looking at me like I'm nuts.
Because Momo's right there.
Come on, Mozo. We're going left. So how's this look? We're doing a little backlit here. The ZV-1's got the 18 millimeter Samyang 2.8. And we'll switch it around. Now, how does the exposure work? Now, I'm going on auto on these just because I don't want to fiddle around with two cameras and try to make it. This is, if you turn the camera on, boom, put it on auto, this is what you're going to get. All right? This is somewhat equivalent. The R8 is going to be a little wider, but they're on both on their active equivalents. But I'm going to put the R8 on enhanced, and the ZV-E1, I'm going to put that one on dynamic, and we're going to see what that looks like. But I wanted to test out the shakiness and, you know, the stabilization and all that works, how that looks on the camera. So now look, as I walk in the bushes, you can see that. Now they're both 2.8s, and I have them both set at 2.8. Well, actually, they're on auto, so they're just going to do what they're going to do. But so they're both on auto. They're doing what they're going to do. So how's the exposures? How does that auto set? Which one looks better? Which one works better? Now the screen is higher quality on the EOS R8. I'll tell you that right now. It's just higher quality. It's just a little more clarity than it is on the ZV-E1, which is actually disappointing because the R8 is like $600 cheaper, but I got the E1 for $800 some dollars. So, or I'm sorry, $1,800 some dollars. So I got a decent deal if you look at it that way, but that's the most I was going to pay for it. But all right, I'm going to switch this over now. You kind of seen what the active looks like in the regular, the standard on the R8. I'm going to go ahead and switch to the dynamic and the enhanced, or the dynamic and the enhanced on the R8, and see what that looks like. Now, how is this one usable though? You let me know. You be the judge. Let's go. Let's switch around. Let's switcheroo. All right, guys. It is 90 degrees out here, and we are now 90 degrees out here, guys, and we are now on the enhanced on the R8 and the dynamic on the ZV-E1, right? So we got both 2.8 lenses on here. One is 16 on the R8, and the 18 on the E1. Now, how does this look? Now, obviously, this is zoomed in. This is, you know, the dynamic. So you're cutting in your picture quite a bit. But which one looks better? You be the judge. I mean, which one's more stable? The R8 does a really good job. I gotta be honest with you. For 1,500 bucks, man, a better screen. You get a viewfinder, and you get really good stab because a lot of their lenses have stabilization too, including the 16 millimeter. So what do you say? What say you? Which one looks better to you? Can you tell the difference, really? So again, they're both on auto. They're on 30 frames per second, 4K. Each one is 30 frames per second on 4K. And it's 90 degrees out here. So there's no overheating warnings or nothing. I haven't had any problems with overheating or anything like that. There, a little bumpy there. Now everything looks a little brighter on the R8 screen than it does on the E1. But like I said, the R8 screen's better, which, come on, Sony. You make high-end phones, you make TV sets, LEDs, OLEDs, all that stuff, and you can't put a better screen on your $2,000 cameras? Like, come on, that's crazy. But what do you think, guys? Which one looks better? EOS R8 or the ZV-E1? This is kind of auto-exposing, doing its own white balance, everything. Straight out of the box. 90-degree weather, good times, good times. And this is my dog. He's, you know, that's why he's a fat dog, because he likes to lay around a lot and eat. Okay, let's check out that exposure, see how they expose. With some harsh lighting conditions here on and off. So it might be kind of, might not look the best, but you know what? Run and gun, baby. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. That's the J way.
Home.
That's the way you roll on my channel. So just wanted to throw this out to you. What do you guys think? Which way is the best? You know what I mean? You want to save money, go with the R8 if vlogging's your thing. It works good in the studio too, or the E1. All right, guys, this is a bonus quick low light test here. This is 12,800 on the Sony ZV-E1 and the EOS R8. Now this is where technically the E1 is supposed to overtake a general like the R8 because of the only 12 megapixels, better in low light kind of thing. All right, so I still have the 18 millimeter on there and the 16 millimeter on there, just running this test. So 12,800. So I'm going to drop it down to see the second base ISO, right? So I'm dropping down the Canon to 10,000. Dropping down 10,000. Now we're on 10,000 on the Canon, 10,000 ISO on the E1. Now how does the noise look? How does the noise, I mean, I've got it just standard out of the box. Just got it manual, 1/60 shutter speed, 2.8 aperture, 1/60 shutter speed on both, 30 frames per second. Okay, so this is the 10,000 on each. Now how does the noise look? All right, now technically the E1, when I go back up, it's supposed to clear it up. Second base ISO. So let's test that. This is the E1. Moving back up to 12,800. Okay. Very little light in here, by the way. Very little light. Boom. All right. Now we're at 12,800 on both the cameras again, just to see if it made a difference in the noise and how the background looks. Now I notice like the Canon on the screen anyway, it looks like it's underexposed a little more than the E1, but it's just the way they're set. Comparable ISOs, comparable apertures and everything. It just looks like brighter on the E1 for whatever reason. So this is basically standard picture profiles. Seeing what you think, take a look at them. Just wanted to throw this little bonus in to check this out for myself and see what the background noise or whatever looked like. And so you can judge for yourself. Does the second base ISO really make that much of a difference on the E1? You be the judge. Now, obviously, if I kick these both down to 100 ISO, you'll see that they look great. So they both look good. And I'm not sure where that gets ugly, but if you can go to 12,000, I mean, very little light. I wouldn't shoot with it like this anyway. Normally, I would shoot with a lot more light, which I'll show you now. All right, guys, now I have them both set on 640 ISO. And again, the Canon R8 looks a little, let me move this around a little. There. The Canon R8 just looks a little underexposed. So it looks like for the same amount of what I have set for here, let me turn a little more light on over here, see if I can counterbalance that a little bit. Nope, it's just less lighted. So let's kick this up to, boom, 800 ISO, 1,000 ISO. Now, from what I see on the screens, that looks a little more like it. Like 1,000 ISO on the R8 and 640 ISO on the ZV-E1. But what do you think? All right, so the 640, this is the second base ISO, or the first base ISO, I believe is 640 on the E1. The Canon R8, I gotta be honest, I'm not sure what it is, but 1000 ISO is still generally very acceptable. And on the E1 at 640 should look amazing too. So, but this is the R8 and this is the E1. What do you think, guys? And again, you saw the low light. Leave your comments below. What do you think? Is there that big of a difference? Once you hit that 12,008 and then go back just to 10, how much more of a difference does that make? All right, guys. Have a good day.